come to a realization. Probably, I might have to come to some of these realizations over and over again, but maybe not. Maybe some things I've just started to accept. Might be tired. I might be hot. Might have been a tough work week. Malt liquor. The first one I was thinking about is I just don't enjoy drinking malt out of plastic. I don't know if any of us do. Like, it suddenly occurred to me, like, why am I doing this? Like, I like if I'm gonna drink it, like drinking it out of the cans. It tastes great in the can. It tastes great in glass, but I can't get it in glass. If you get like a Hurricane or something. So like, I was just like, why am I doing it? I guess I was doing it out of habit. But it also feels like it's almost disrespectful to me and that like they downgraded their product and I just kept buying it like a sheep. Malt liquor. So this is my last plastic. I was like, I drank like 3/4 of a Mickey's, and I was like, it was hot out here, and I was mowing the lawn, coming back in here and drinking it, mowing the lawn, and it's like, I did like put the cap on, put it back in the refrigerator because it was hot. And the thing is, like, I know beer gets hot when you leave it in a hot shed, but I'm familiar with how long glass stays cold, and it's just not the same insulating principle. So, I'm gonna just have like a can, and also it's less calories. I still meet my criteria of a man's entitled to come home after a hard day's work and have a beer. Just have one 24-ouncer. That seems like enough. And I want to get down to 180. Whatever. I'm not doing a weight loss thing. And a couple things under the same kind of umbrella. Work sucks. A lot of people suck. I'm gonna get over it. Just like I'm not gonna expect it to be anything different. And I think actually knowing that it's not gonna be anything different will probably modify how I react to things. Like when things go bad or wrong or anything like that, I'll be like, well, that's just par for the course. You know, it's like going golfing and you do a drive and it goes into a sand trap. Sand traps, if the more sand traps they are, if the vast majority of the golf course is sand traps, you're going to be knocking it into sand traps now and again. Often. Can't make a big deal out of it. I was just dealing with somebody and they were unfairly irate, and I just thought, rugby. Well, I didn't actually think about rugby because rugby is a kind gentleman. But I just thought, like, you know what? Whatever. Yeah. Work sucks. People sucks. People suck. I'm getting over it. You know, another thing, this might have something to do with, like, I was just like, I feel less and less desire to rattle people's cages, like for reals. Like I've got buddies that like we like teasing each other. I like it when friends tease each other. Not all the time, but like it shouldn't be surprising. It shouldn't be once in a blue moon. But it shouldn't, like, if you see someone getting upset, you should take them off my rattle their cage list. I was thinking about that when someone left a couple comments that really bothered me, and I'm like, I don't think this guy likes me. I don't think I like this guy. Like, why are we even? We should separate. You know what? You guys break it up. Another thing I noticed about myself is I don't function well without some kind of structure. And typically I make lists. And I was putting notes out here, but I need to put some notes in the house. And I was kind of like, I was adverse to that. I don't want anyone to see my list, you know what I'm saying? Someone comes over to have a beer or barbecue, I don't want to look up and say like, see this list of things that I set out for me to do. So I guess I gotta have a secret list. I just function better with a list. I function better following instructions, really. What else? I got to get over, if my future is going to be travel, I need to get over my reluctance to travel. Like the whole idea of like, I hate long drives. I should never say that again. I should say things like, a good way to break up a long drive is to map out the route and then like check off areas that are interesting. And actually that's another thing too. I drove by a couple lava fields on my way down to visit Amanda, and I didn't stop to see them. I should mark them on them. I should make my own map, actually. And so next time I'm in that area, I know like that's on my to-do list. I think that's it. Those are pretty big ones, really. I really think work sucks, get over it. It's got to be a game changer. People wonder what's up with me if I'm not complaining about work. Oh my God, this is kind of how this came about. Now this was not at this job. This was at a job I had a long time ago. I sat down next to somebody, and they said, "Oh man, it was a bar. I had to throw out one of my friends. I had to like kick one of their friends out of the bar." And I just started kind of like, at that time I was working a bunch of different places. I just started relating, like, well, I had to do this and like all these negative things. And they turned to me and said, "You could get a little negative sometimes." I think they're probably a little bit. Maybe they were a little bit bummed out, and they didn't want to get even more bummed out. So they're trying to stop me, except they're kind of right in that work isn't about having a great time. Work is about damage control and worst case scenarios in many instances. Like we're going to go make a change, and the first thing I thought of was, what's the worst thing that could happen? How could we minimize that? And it's smart at work. But if I get too negative about it all the time, if you're like, I think a good solution would be that kind of phrase. It's just like a slight change of perspective, a little less negative and a little more proactive. Yeah, well, I thought we've got some really good work. We got some good work done in this video. My last plastic 40. Re-embracing a more positive life. Because back in the day, they used to call me Flanders after the character from Wet Brain Moment. Shout out to Dr. Balturin. The Simpsons. And I remember at one point in time I said something about this one guy that we had. He stole from people. He stole from the company. He was just a weasel. And basically I just called him out on it while we were talking. And someone turned to me and said, "That might be the first negative thing I've ever heard you say about anybody." That's a good reputation to have. Maybe I should add that to the list. Oh my God, though. I have to give up on the whole bitter, cynical Earl. I like that guy. A cigarette dangling from my lip, a shot of whiskey in my mitt, a rumpled suit, and a jaded attitude. What's not to love? I'm in Tokyo, I'm drunk, and I'm armed. seeing the tubes. I haven't said that in a long time.